The Zulu people refer to themselves as the people of the heavens, and they are the largest ethnic group of South Africa, with a population of an estimated 10 to 12 million. The Zulu people are a Nguyen ethnic group in South Africa that originated from the Nguyen communities who took part in the Bantu migration. As the clans integrated together, the ruler, Shaka, brought success to the Zulu nation. The Zulu tribe uses intricate, complex ceremony songs, and accoutre to communicate their unique cultural identity from past generations continuing to today's time.
The Zulu tribe is located in KwaZulu-Natal province in South Africa. Traditions are one of the most important things to the Zulu people because it represents who they are and what they stand for. Zulu people took huge pride in their different cultural dances as well as their beadwork. This is hugely important to them because it represents who they actually are and how they communicate throughout the tribe and to explain who they are to the outside world. A very important belief to the Zulu people is the life of animals. They believe that when a living creature or human dies, they always come back in spirit and watch over them, which is why they have rituals to keep the spirit alive. Because of this, the tribe is mostly vegetarian and have the same rituals to eat every day, which is using wooden spoons and bowls, as well as washing hands before and after while rinsing their mouth.
There are three main ceremonies that take place during the weekends, which include Memelo, Mekilo, and Mesiblo and Machado. Memelo, which is a coming of the age, Mekihilo, and Mesibloso is a pre-wedding, and Machado is a wedding ceremony. All of these ceremonies take place on the Zulu countryside, usually on the weekends and rarely during the week.
The dominant language in South Africa is isiZulu, which is a Bantu language. The Zulu language is generally spoken in cliques. This language is the most widely spoken language in South Africa, making it an official language. Over half the population speaks and understands the language, so it is easy for each tribe to communicate. In KwaZulu-Natal, the most frequently spoken languages are Zulu and English. Although those are the primary languages, they also speak Sesotho, Xitsonga, and many other languages.
So I'm going to say in English, and you're going to repeat in Zulu. Alright, so hello.
Sawubona.
Goodbye.
Salakahle.
How are you?
Unjani.
Good night.
Ulale kahle.
I love you. I love you.
Ngiyakuthanda.
Left, right.
Ekaleni nasekaleni.
Where is the hotel?
Iguphi indawo.
Welcome to South Africa.
Siyanamukela lana eSouth Africa.
The Zulu people celebrate their tribe with dances and music, which is a main form of communication. The most essential part of their music are drums, which are made of goat skin and they are played by holding a piece of reed on the drum and then they vibrate the drum with both hands. There are multiple types of dances they also use to celebrate their culture, which includes hunting. Hunting symbolizes bravery, which is why tribes chant and imitate the movement of hunters in hopes to help the hunters avoid injuries. A famous dance performed by the Zulu tribe is called Umzansi, which is a Zulu war dance. This dance brings together thousands of Zulu members to celebrate their ancestors.
Clothing is not only something the Zulu tribe wore, but the way they wanted to represent themselves to others. This shows they are more part of a family than anything. For example, when wearing a hat, it means that you are communicating that you are a warrior and will fight for your tribe. Clothing was especially important to the women in the Zulu tribe. It would determine what they wore based off if they were single, engaged, or married. As for the men, the type of feathers they wore is an indicator of the person who they are. Also, ceremonies were the most important when it came to how they dress as well. Ceremonies is where they would all come together to represent something, and clothing was one of the most important ways to do so. Clothing was also very important to the warriors of the tribe. The clothing was slightly different because they expressed themselves through skins and feathers to intimidate their predators and others around. Stick fighting is a way warriors battle each other, so looking intimidating for that is extremely significant for them because it shows their dominance.
When the fight gets going on full, the tradition is that it doesn't stop until someone has drawn blood. Men have been killed during stick fighting. Some of the blows to the head can be deadly, and injuries are common. It's an aggressive game. There are no points, and no body parts are off limits. A blow to the chest could mean a broken rib. Blows to the head are often fatal. And though most of their hits to me are guarded, they're not holding back on making me feel the full power of the stick fighting club.
Beadwork is a form of communication within the Zulu tribe that is used by men, women, and children. When a person wore multiple beads, it usually symbolized that they were wealthy. Beads also depict where the individual is from, their age, and gender. Messages are embedded into the beadwork to reveal more communication within the tribe. Beadwork also represents an important part in a person's life. For example, a wedding would have a certain type of beaded jewelry, and certain dances would have another meaning of beadwork. The color of the beads also resemble a different meaning. For example, in one region, green represents jealousy, while in another region, it symbolizes grass. Depending on the area the beadwork is located, it represents different meanings within the Zulu tribe. The form of housing used by the Zulu tribe was called imizi, or also known as kraal, which was a fenced that enclosed a beehive-shaped house with one room. Livestock would be enclosed inside the fence, and there are a number of huts that would be in a circle, which would also be enclosed. Since the Zulu tribe lived relatively close to each other in a community-like environment, they would talk and communicate with each other on a daily basis.
The Zulu people communicate with their ancestors through prayers, offerings, and celebrations and sacrifices. The major holiday that they have is to celebrate Shaka, the Zulu chief. The Zulu people do this by slaughtering cattle and wearing traditional attire. By communicating with their ancestors, the Zulu people feel in return they are getting graced with luck, blessings, fortune, assistance, and guidance throughout their life. The Zulu tribe uses intricate and complex ceremony songs and akuter to communicate their unique cultural identity from past generations continuing to today's time.
By understanding the Zulu people's traditions, housing, music and dances, clothing, beadwork, and language, we now better understand how the Zulu people not only communicate to each other, but also how they communicate with the surrounding towns, their ancestors, and people all over the world. We would like to thank YouTube for the African Zulu traditional music and Google Images for images of the Zulu tribe, along with the Library of Congress for reliable sources to inspire us to learn more about the Zulu people.